discuss about migration to HANA systems. Migration to HANA system is why give migration? Why I'm not giving Oracle to migrate Oracle and HANA? Because we can migrate any database. Like if you're on DB2, if you're on Oracle, if you're on Sybase, any database you can migrate to HANA system without any issues. For that, you have to do, we have to follow some rules, okay, which takes some time. If you want to do migration today, you have to plan it 5 months before only. Today is April. If you want to do migration in the month of September, you have to start planning from now itself. Today, migration is very necessary because all major clients working with either with Oracle, Sybase, or MaxDB or SQL Server, and they decided to migrate to HANA. They have to only one option left with them, that they have to upgrade themselves. Okay. Now you know that Oracle SAP is not more using Oracle. Not now. They telling from in 2014 they are announcing if we are eliminating Oracle. I don't know why. Okay, it's a rival now. Oracle is rival for SAP, but now they extended till 2025. But previously they told they will going to eliminate Oracle from 2020 only. But because many clients are there using Oracle for many years and they're not able to upgrade themselves, the SAP has given 5 more years. But after 5 years, you should see Oracle will there in the market, but SAP will not use Oracle as their third-party database. That is the report. Okay, and Sybase is there. MaxDB is there, SQL Server is there. You can use anything, but when you are using this and we decided to go to HANA systems totally, in 2025, you see, everybody migrate to HANA only because HANA come up with the special suite kind of thing where you can have all things under one umbrella only. They're working on that. The most important part is the compression part. Okay, HANA is a technology from SAP. It's been running successfully from last 1 decade because they started in 2011. Still, it's a #1 database in the world. They prove they are the #1 database in the world because the most important part is the compression. Most important part is the compression. Is 1:9. Is SAP they sell 1:9, but we can take it as 1:7 only. Matlab, the data whichever you have, it will get compressed. 1 GB becomes 700 MB only. 1 GB becomes a 700 MB only. Here what happened? We are going to pay money for memory, not for users. So, like if you have 1 TB of data, it becomes 700 GB only. If you try to convert it to HANA, where there you save more money. For this, all this needs cleansing of data before upgrading. If on Oracle, if for any database, no issue, whichever database, before upgrading, all needs cleansing. Cleansing means, we discussed this last time also, when you use laptop for 3-4 years continuously, if you do defragmentation of your laptop, you just run defragmentation and leave laptop, you will see you will get 20 GB space in your hard drive. Because what happened when you save data in the hard drive, so what it says, it will in between it leaves some blank chunks. When you cleanse your data, all the blank dots will get erased and it will fill data correctly. At that time, you will get a space of minimum 20-30 GB in a simple hard drive. Now, if it's in terabytes, you just imagine how much data you will get. Okay, so before going to migrate, need to follow below steps. First of all, size your landscape, choose a right platform and migration steps, cleansing your data, applying high-level implement standard, and some tested POC. If this done properly, then you can say, then we are going to migrate our things to next level. If you're not doing anything, any one of these things, your migration will not succeed at any cost. It will be disaster failure in your landscape. Because if you doesn't landscape your things and try to do, you don't know what hardware you require. If you order a wrong hardware, the first disaster for you, and you have to choose the right platform.
Sorry, one quick question.
No problem.
So Oracle, for example, will have indexes, right? Microsoft SQL and all. When you do who use this compression or now when you use this tool to migrate, HANA doesn't do any indexing or anything, right? So how does this?
I didn't get to come again, sir.
Okay, Oracle, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
So
See, what happened?
Oracle database will have indexes in the
Yeah,
tables for tables, right?
yeah,
If
exactly.
you said that there is some kind of tool where we can use to migrate Oracle database to HANA database, right? So how does will it drop indexes? How does it work? Like how would you know?
Yeah, exactly. See, what happened? Why we use indexes, views to show data in format which we like. Why we use indexes? To get data as we require. Because if there are 1 lakh records, if you create a view, if a table has got 100 columns, you need only 5 columns. You create view. You create one view, and in that view you store all the data which you require. And in this all same thing, it will keep. But what HANA does, it takes all records without indexes into its database, and it will, because HANA has no problem to extract data at any cost. If you use indexes in HANA also, it again takes spaces.
Okay.
Our main target is to take less space, because for space only we pay to the HANA people. If you create one table, if you create 10 indexes, it takes one table, but it means you save one table 10 times. If it is a 15 MB, it becomes 150 MB. If you take same thing for 10 times, but HANA has got internal features from where it can fetch data, but you have to write a queries on SQL. What you would like to fetch? It will fetch everything as a written by the SQL query, and it will fetch records. If it is a million records also, it's fetched in fraction of seconds only, because it has got in-memory database and a massive parallel processing feature, inbuilt feature, because the RAM and the CPU which you use for HANA, those are specially designed and made for data fetching itself only. They are not; those are not normal RAMs which we use on laptops and servers also. They are special because the whole database resides in RAM only.
Okay.
Okay, and choose right platform and migration steps. And main thing is cleansing your data before doing any migration, not to HANA, any other server also. You have to cleanse, you have to remove all junk data. Cleansing data means simple manner to remove your junk data. It will help you to remove junk data, okay, and apply high level implement standards. There are some standards you have to apply those standards only. And after doing all this, we need them POCs. These are the proof of concepts where we can go with go for HANA systems. With if this is approved by all seniors members, yeah, now the POs are perfect. Now you can move. Now see how to size your HANA. Sizing analysis. Sizing is a vital step when you create a plan which helps to do proper sizing. The sizing depends upon the memory, which determines the actual amount of data you decided after comparison. Okay. If you, I think you also seen US and maybe European countries. I have seen many companies who already crosses 15 terabytes, 20 terabytes of database, because they're using since 90s, 95, 96 or 99. So I work with the client who have got 28 of terabyte data and they are on Oracle. Now they try to move on to HANA. I don't know when. I left that project now. I'm no more on that project. But the data was 28 terabytes. You just see how they manage the database. 28 terabytes of data. Okay. So here what happened? Here what I mean to understand you. Sizing depends on the memory, which is determined the actual data after compression. Data may be 50 terabytes, no problem. But after compression, if it is come to 5 terabytes or 6 terabytes, depending upon that, you have to order your uh, memory. I want this much memory only after compression. No perfect, because if it come to 3 terabytes, then you have to order 6 terabytes, because put 3 terabytes for your system and 3 terabytes for working. If you order exact figure 3 terabytes only after compression 3 terabytes, in order at that time what happens? You cannot able to work. You cannot able to run your queries because you already book the same amount of RAM is equal to your data. It is not an easy step to calculate the actual amount of RAM which is going to require. Therefore, you need to have a quick sizer tool. We have a quick sizer tool, sizing tool. There are some relevant sizing tools to give an existing report. I think we have done this. In this, what we want to do, we have some different tools available from SAP itself, not from you and me. They only decide, yeah, this is the data, this many users you have, this is your downtime, weekly, your system is available 8 hours a day or 16 hours a day or 24/7 a day. But depends upon, some works on one shift, some works on 2 shifts, and some works for 24/7. So depending upon that also, you have to calculate the sizing. So let's see. The correct sizing consists of memory sizing of static and dynamic data. Static data means master data, which will not change at any time, and dynamic data, which changes every day. But if you create POs, PRs, and you add new data every day, there's a dynamic data which changes every day. But static data means the material master, vendor master, employee master. The static, that is static, it will remain same in your form, but you can add some data to static data. When you get a new vendor, you add this static data only. You get a new material, you're going to add this static data only. But this will get added, but frequently, not daily, monthly, once or twice, once your system is stable. But initially you have to add many things, because when you're a startup company, you are getting vendors every day. But when it's a stable company, then this will not, you will not add more data on the static, because you get vendor when your company is stable from last 15 years, then you don't need no vendors needed to you, no supplies needed. Everything is static there. But sometimes if somebody comes and you have to add, you can add it here, but frequently, once in a month or 15 days a month. And dynamic data means where end user working continuously. Because static data is 2 terabyte or 1 terabyte, you have to take static terabyte 1 terabyte plus take 200 GB only. Okay. And dynamic data, you just see dynamic data which use every day. Depending upon that, you have to calculate your memory. And disk size of persistent stage. What is persistent stage? What is this?
The storage.
Yeah, the main storage SAN. This size of persistent stage means this is your actual hard drive where you can save your this backups and log files. Log files, when we have done backups at that time, you see log intervals 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes log interval. You can keep anytime. You can keep from 15 minutes to 1 hour also. But many companies, which include most in finance, they keep only 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes, what happen? Even if you have 10 terabytes of data, no problem. But you in those 10 minutes, you use only 15 tables or 150 tables, and whatever changes you made, which tables you made change, those tables only get backed up and stored in that this persistent area. So when your system is when system is down, when system you have to recover system at that time, this persistent area will help you out to restore your system to actual level. And CPU sizing for transactional queries and calculations. CPUs in normal systems, we have one CPU, two CPU, 5 CPUs, but here we have CPUs in multiplications. 16, 32, 64, 128, 250 is like the CPUs you have. Why we need those CPUs? We need those CPUs because when you file a query for 50 million records, 50 million records get divided by number of CPUs, and all CPUs started working to fetch your data. That is the reason why we need to size CPU also properly for transactional queries and the calculations. Okay. So this is all done by the experts who have industry knowledge, good industry knowledge, and they worked on 2-3 migrations. They only able to do all these things. First migration project, we have to be just shadowing them, okay, how these things work. Then you have to use your idea and you can start migration yourselves also. Okay. And second thing is choose right platform and migration. Choose right platform and strategy means you can migrate to SAP HANA quickly and easily by choosing a right platform that suits your business. SAP HANA can be deployed on premises, on cloud. SAP HANA, it gives good feature to you. You can deploy on premise also, on cloud also, or hybrids also. We have 3 options. The SAP HANA can be deployed on premise, on cloud, and what is hybrid? What is hybrid?
What do you mean?
See, on premise, on cloud, or on hybrid.
I'm not sure about hybrid. You mean like one node in our own data center and one node in cloud or something like that?
Exactly. Yeah, what happened? On premise means everything with you only. On
Yeah.
your data center, own data center, or your physical premise or physical building or physical floor. On cloud means everything you take to cloud people, Amazon, Oracle, the HCP and all. Okay, HANA Cloud, Oracle Cloud, and this hybrid you can create. But hybrid means here where if company works on critical financials, like they always have a big transactions of financial and like government offices, security, air force, like the most secure data, they never believe anybody. They keep all on cloud except the main production server. Except the main production server, they keep it with them, and remaining all they put it in cloud. So we have to, there are some connectors which connects from cloud to hybrid also, no problem with that. If you deploy on premises, see, if you deploy on premises, you may have to do maximum controls over data. Because if you install things at your place, at your building, at your premises, at your floor, then you have maximum controls. But you can do add, modify, delete whenever you want because data is with you. But if you deploy on cloud, you may not have maximum control because everything take care the cloud people. Once you nowadays what happened? Everybody wants cloud only. If you go to cloud, what happened? No need of staff, more concerns also because cloud people will take care of up whenever small upgrades come, they'll do. Whenever backup, they have to take parameter backups, they'll take backups also. And whenever any parameter changes, they'll do. Version upgrade, they'll do. Start and up, they'll do. But they will inform you 15 days before through a mail, through a call, through WhatsApp, Hangout, everything. They tell this in next 15 days, upgrade is going to come. We need to upgrade your all landscape. First, we'll try test and development or sandboxes. Then next month we'll go to production. For test and development, they'll inform you 10 days before and take a permission from you. But you just give a permission, which is suitable time for it. According to your time, they'll plan and put a upgrade, small upgrade. But when it comes to production, they will intimate you before 15-20 days, take a proper approvals. Okay, then your system will not be available for this period of time. Like they'll give you 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour, exact time. Okay, exact time is they will never be exact time. They will give time with restoration. If upgrade fails, they have to restore the system also. If they tell 1 hour, the upgrade will done in 1 hour, no problem in HANA. But if upgrade fails, then they have to restore system to last position. So they calculate that time also. Okay, because you have to bear 2 or 3 hours system shutdown. and you have to do. You cannot say, okay, I will not go with upgrade, have many work, this work, that work. You have to do up when people said you have to do the, you have, because otherwise you will not get new features which are implemented by HANA people. Okay, and backups. This is triggered automatically, like we have seen on that day, how to trigger backups and how to see backups in HANA systems. And for any reason, if they want to see any parameter changes, if you inform them, because database with them, OS with them, because they only people would change the parameters. Whenever you need SAP suggests you to change some parameter, then you have to inform them, please change this parameter at this time. Some parameters require restart and some parameter doesn't require restart. If it requires restart, then you have to give minimum 15 minutes downtime, because when you change some parameters, it requires a downtime. If downtime means you have to you require restart na, restart means downtime. So first they change parameters on development and sandboxes. When things are going well, then do product changes also. And version upgrades. Version upgrade means if you are support pack 07, if you want to go to 8 9 with the new features, at that time they won't look careful. And start stop HANA, all this taken care by cloud people itself. This all things taken care by cloud people itself. You have to choose which platform to go. Okay, you have to choose the right platform to go. And now it comes to cleansing your data. What all things involved in cleansing your data? SAP offers a lot of advanced analytical tools to optimize your business operations by analyzing data in real time before migrating. It depends upon DB. DB means like Oracle DB, MaxDB, all third-party database. It depends upon your third-party database. I'll write your third-party database. Third-party database to HANA database. You have to clean your data prior to migration. Cleansing only help you to
These
take
are basically, these are all like normal steps when we do migration. Can you show me the actual steps? Because these are like um, prerequisites and all. What are the actual steps? Do you have like screenshots of how do you use the tool?
yeah, will come. Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
From here we start now. It's there.
okay, 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 no problem.
It will come because it's a big document, sir. It's overall a big document.
Okay, okay,
Everything comes under one umbrella. Okay, it's there. Everything is
okay,
there.
okay, no problem, no problem.
After completion this, you can say, well, I'll migrate to HANA. Now, madam, you have an idea how to migrate to HANA once we complete this.
Yeah. Okay, okay, yeah, carry on, carry on.
No problem, sir. There we were on cleansing our data. What SAP HANA offers? SAP HANA offers many tools to optimize your data. Optimize business operation by analyzing data in real time. It depends upon third-party database to HANA database. To clean your data prior to migration, cleansing only help you to take actual data to HANA. Which means what? You have data, no problem. You have terabytes of data with you. Once you cleanse things properly, then the actual data you left with actual data, which you need to take to HANA system. Okay, which will reduce the cost of RAM you need to purchase, because you have to order RAM and pay money, then only they provide, because in HANA RAM you are going to put all your data over only, because there is no, you know that the database whole saves in RAM here, where in HANA systems only the RAM which required after cleansing you need to purchase RAM after the cleansing. You can run queries faster with reduced data. Here what happened? You have many benefits. When you cleanse your data will automatically reduce, and that too on HANA. It means what? You can run your data faster because it has got less data now, and that too on HANA. Okay, purchase less amount of RAM. After cleansing, what happened? Data will compressed and data will cleansed. It will remove or gen data. Then lesser amount RAM you have to purchase. It will save your licensing cost, because you have to pay licensing cost on the base of RAM. But in SAP, you need to pay on the base of users. But in HANA, you have to pay on the base of RAM. Then the technical upgrade will take lesser time. If everything is go smooth. The technical upgrade, there are many upgrades: database upgrade, technical upgrade, OS upgrade. This technical part will take very lesser time once everything is in form. Okay, by keeping only quality data, HANA system, then system performs very even faster, better your business. But when you keep only quality data in HANA system, what happens? Your system performs very well. But now you can find any query, you get answer in a fraction of seconds, by which you can running your business very smoothly with the help of this cleansing of data. You can finalize the process faster manner, which requires all PVC. You can you can finalize the process in faster manner with all PVC, because whichever query you find, it comes along with all the results. It means you can complete your required POCs. Means the technical people ask, run this query and show this data, show the data. They give some testing requirements. We need to set financial data, sales data, master data. With all POCs, everything is ready. Then only you go with a migration. When they approve with all POCs, then you're ready to go with migrations. And as we're talking about high implemented standards, what is this high implemented? For technical migration project, you have to do actual time with all business. Never use shortcuts to complete the project. You have to use always high implemented standards and use SAPway to implement the project. Yeah, what happened? Many times, many people use shortcuts. Yeah, I know this, I know that, but it is a big disaster and failure for them, because SAP given us some fixed standards. You have to, you also, for Oracle also, if you do anything with the shortcuts, it will be a big disaster for you, because databases and this architecture never follow shortcuts. It will be, it will take one more day, but it will be very successful for you. I think you worked on Oracle for many years. You never use shortcuts. Nobody uses shortcuts to do this upgrades and all. If anything goes wrong, then it will be a big disaster, for not for you, it's for a company itself. You have to use high implement standards only. Okay, and proof of concept means whenever you want to do a task, you have to do it in sandbox that will validate all business processes in every system. So how you take proof of concepts? If somebody asks you, how much time it will take, how much downtime we require for HANA system to do migration or do anything, because we cannot promise anything on piece of paper instead of without having POCs. So how you get POCs? We will get POCs on sandboxes. Initially, what happened when you go to any client to migrate the thing, and they ask you to migrate, the first question, how much time it will take. Production, they also whenever they want talk of production only. You say, sir, I am not promising anything, just give me a sandbox. What you need to ask, please give us a sandbox, and on the sandbox you have to replicate whole your production data. You only 20 terabyte data, you just reproduce the same system to me and give it to me. Then I'll validate the system for next 145 days, because they do everything on sandbox on initial phases, and they write, because there are many errors which are bound to come. They rectify all the errors one by one with all proper screenshots. When system is ready, I think it will take 20, 25, 30 days also. Again, they will scrap the system. Again, they'll take same thing. Like this, they'll do this for 3 times. Third time they come to know how much time it will take. Then they'll tell, this at this time it will take to do these things. Okay. Say they will take copy of your old Oracle system and copy into sandbox and migrate to HANA. Same thing. They will copy your Oracle system and into sandbox and migrate to HANA. They will not directly go to live data. They will take a production data into sandbox of our old Oracle and try to do migrate to HANA, which will take more time. The first scenario, it will be an idea how much time it will take. The first run, no judgments, because we have to face many errors, and no one single person will not do anything. It requires a team efforts. Minimum 3-4 people sit and do all things for days, for day night. If some error comes, sometimes some error takes 2 to 3 days to solve. But one first run is successful, then they come to conclusion ki they have the errors and they have the solutions also. In second run, what they do, it will not take much time to solve, because they have ready-made solutions which not to apply, what step to take to come over that error. Okay. You can identify all possible errors in sandbox, then reduce the downtime in actual server. So you can finalize, you can identify all possible errors, 50 errors, 60 errors, no problem. But you can finalize the actual server. You can reduce the time on actual server means I'm talking about production server. First to do it is sandbox, then development, then quality, okay, then validation. Then it comes to actual. Whenever talking about actual, it means production. Okay, you can have more test scenarios in non-critical systems. Non-critical systems means development system and quality system or non-critical systems. You can test more scenarios there also. The sandbox takes this much time because it has got huge data. But when you come to test servers, like the quality development, no data. And when you migrate things, you can have more test scenarios. You can do like this also. So by doing all this, we can tell you now these are the prerequisites. Like all these things you need to do, but it will take months, some months, not like some weeks. It will take some months to do. Now you see, we have a tool called DMO, Data Migration Option. We have a tool called DMO, Data Migration is a tool by SAP, which you can do 3 steps in one go. See, which you can do 3 steps in one go. Convert your system from non-Unicode to Unicode, because nowadays HANA systems only supports Unicode systems. Previously, there are some systems which are non-Unicode. If that is non-Unicode, the first thing you have to convert system from non-Unicode to Unicode, which will take care of DMO. Okay, and SAP upgrade, it will, you see, SAP upgrade will take you to upgrade this HANA level, because whichever version SAP you're using, like 7.2, 7.3, support pack 14, 7.4, support pack 12, but HANA requires some more level. So it will upgrade SAP to the level which is required by HANA. It will upgrade your SAP, okay, to that HANA level. HANA level means there are some pre-steps. If you are NetWeaver 7, your support pack should be 27. If you are NetWeaver support pack NetWeaver 7.4, your support pack should be 22. 7.5 support pack should be 7. So it will take you directly to that tab and migrate old database to the HANA database. Thus, first, second, third, it will do all things all alone. Who? This DMO tool. This tool is provided by SAP itself. 1 minute, I'll show you. Pardon నిమిషాలు. 15 pressure. బయటకు లేదా బయటకు వెళ్తా You have the ID, marketplace ID you have?
Yes, it is through the single sign-on from the office laptop, not like a login ID password or something.
Okay. See here, database migration option, DMO using SUM. We have a tool called SUM, Software Update Manager. okay, which is available from HANA. This some tool also have first version, second version. First version goes till 29, sorry. Then they started with some 2.0, which is specially for S4HANA conversion and all. But the DMO tool comes with a some 1.0 support pack 10. Till support pack 10, there is no DMO in some, but with after support pack 10, they introduce the tool called DMO with the help of this sum. We have to download this thing. See, we have someone till 26. Someone till 26 we have, okay, but you can use this DMO only when you start using some 1.0 greater than 10th version. If you use less than 10, this option will not come, okay. And that support pack 2 some 2.0, previously it was 8 only, now they are jumping to 10, okay. This is, you should take this one, it's very easy, okay. This is ready made, this is made for HANA database only, okay. This has to, you have to take care of, and now you don't do anything, just sign on to your system, go to tools, and you have to press on software logistic tools. Just go and press here, you will get the scenario. In recording, you can able to see from where you jump till here, okay, no issues. The recording, everything is there. So download some, download spam sand, and download.
I have to log into other laptops, so I can't do it right now. This is my personal laptop, which I'm logged in.
No, you can do it. You can do it, not right now, sir. You can do whenever you have time.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
I'm telling you that just go to tools, because what happened, people are fumbled where to go and what to click. I'll tell you, go to tools and you have to click on software logistic tools, where you can jump onto this system directly.
Okay.
You move on to this page directly. Okay, then you can see, you know, what version required and what all things are required. If you want more clarification, then you have to see some notes. There are some notes, see 2882431. If you read this note, you will get more information how we can do all these things in simpler manner.
Okay.
So this is the DMO version which I showed you. So DMO being used from some 1.0 SP9. If on SP8, because nobody uses SP8 now, okay, because all are using some 2.0 nowadays. Nobody using this is the old version. I think for 3 years back, SP9, because SAP increases SPs in monthly now. Like if you see today, we have seen support some 2.0 SP10. Next month you log in, you can see SP12 also. They are in so hurry to move this support pack also. Okay, from version they can move DMO data migration purpose. What are different? See what are the different types of migrations? Okay, we have homogeneous migrations and heterogeneous migrations. Homogeneous and heterogeneous. So what is homogeneous and what is heterogeneous? Homogeneous means the source and target will remain same like OS and DB. And what heterogeneous? Either source or target system will be get changed. So most of the times we work with heterogeneous only. For HANA systems, we need to work with heterogeneous only. Okay. So we'll do one thing, Krishna. If I start this, it will take more of a time to make you understand. We will jump this session from tomorrow, because if I start this, it will take minimum 40 minutes to complete everything now. Okay. So we'll do it tomorrow. Okay. So we'll stop here. Okay. We just come tomorrow. Yeah. Tomorrow when we come, if system works, we'll do recovery. If system not working, if anything happen, we'll complete this and go to next sessions. Okay.
Okay. Can you
and
send
most probably
me
possible.
document?
I'll send you.
Yesterday video, I haven't got it. Yesterday video and today's video.
Yesterday the video was so fumble, nothing to there to share you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. But the document, yeah.
Documents I'll share it to you, no problem. I'll share it to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay. Thanks.
Bye.